Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. I am joined, as I am once or so a year, by the great Ramone Russell.
I don't know about great.
Game designer at Sony San Diego on the MLB The Show team. It's always good to see you.
It's always good to see you and stop by IGN.
You know why? Not only do I like you, that's number one.
I appreciate that.
Number two, because you're always good to IGN. Good to me.
All right. Number
two, when I see you, that means MLB The Show is coming around pretty soon, and baseball season's coming around pretty soon. So you're going to run me through some new stuff that you guys got for MLB 17.
Yes,
what do you got?
indeed. So we're here in Edit Player looking at, your favorite player.
My man,
Paul Goldschmidt.
Why
are we looking at Paul Goldschmidt? We're looking at Paul Goldschmidt.
Because he's handsome and amazing?
Because he's handsome and amazing, and we've made him more handsome in MLB The Show 17. So every year graphically, we have a focus. And that focus is a part of a bigger plan that's always been a 5 or 6 year plan.
Yeah.
And people saw that plan play out in fruition on PlayStation 3. Mm-hmm. We hit graphical maturity about 4 or 5 years in.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4, what is this? Our fourth MLB The Show? I haven't had a lot of sleep. So
14, 15, 16, 17.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So
this is our 4. So we're not there yet, but we're getting there. But year 1, we rebuilt all the stadiums, redid the lighting.
Yeah.
Year 2, I believe, was seasonal sun and shadow. So
Yeah.
when you're playing in May, the shadows look different and the sun positions different in June. Last year was PBR, which is physically based rendering.
Yeah.
So this year during our pre-production process, when we sat down and we discussed graphically what should we focus on, it was real simple. The communities aligned, what the community wanted and what we wanted and needed to do were the exact same thing. Everybody said, including us internally, hey, the stadiums, your atmosphere looks really good, the lighting is so good. But the players, it's time for us to focus on the players. We need to bring the players up a bit. We need to focus on the players. So all of our big things graphics-wise are focused on making not only the real players look better, but create a player looking better too.
Nice.
And that really ties in the road to the show. So we're looking at Paul Goldschmidt. What's different here? This is the exact same face scan that we had for him last year. And people can see the comparison shot so they can see how he looked in last year's game. But what's different is we've completely redone the eyes. All the old eyeballs threw them in the trash. Started over from scratch.
That's gross.
Yeah. So the shape of the eyeball is now correct. It was a little off in previous versions of the game. The lighting is different on the eyeballs. Hopefully we've lost that ghost look to where you look in the guy's eyes like, something's just not right. Our skin tones and textures just have so much more depth and life to them. And the way the sun reacts off of the skin is also changed. The way that the hat and the shadows that the hat creates on the skin, especially around the eyes.
Yeah.
Those are different. Also, there's a brand new face rig, and the face rig controls the emotions, how we emote, like the folds in the cheek and the lips and those things, and we've redone the mouth. So everything is focused on making the players themselves look good. So we're going to jump out of here, and we're going to go into Create a Player. Now, Create a Player's changed quite a bit. The second thing people said was, okay, not only do the faces not look great, but the bodies themselves, everybody kind of looks the same. You don't have enough granularity there. So we've done two things. We've added a brand new body type called Husky, and that's like your Miguel Cabrera, your Anthony Rizzo. Those dudes aren't bodybuilders, but they're not small either. Right. Nor are they fat. Right. They're big guys. Yes. And so they fit into that Husky body type. The second thing we did is we added body scaling sliders. You can change the shoulders. You can give them a big butt if you want. You can change the glutes. You can even elongate the spine. Guys like Chris Sale, they're longer individuals, so they're going to look a lot more lifelike. So what I'm going to do here is just hit random. I will tell you one thing. The skin tones for Create a Player are not done. So don't pay too much attention to the
we're
skin
recording
tone.
this in February. Game's not done yet.
But I want you to pay attention to is the shoulders and the stomach and the leg. See how it's changing as I'm randomizing?
A lot of different body types.
You're seeing a lot of different things going on. So if we go in here,
guy kind of looks like it's kind of got a Jake Arrieta meets Jose Bautista.
Yeah, so look at that guy's
on.
shoulders, and then look at his shoulders.
Yeah.
So you see, there's so much more granularity. And if you want to, you can go in here and you can edit them.
Nice.
And you can see, and not everybody's shoulders are the same height. So that's what we're allowing you to do here. And like I said, if you want to give him a big butt, you can do that too. You can give him a big butt if you wanted to. So there's thighs, hips and glutes, spine length, arms, and collarbone. So the next thing we'll go and look at is the head shapes. Last year, basically every MLB The Show game we shipped on PlayStation 3 and the first years of PlayStation 4, we had 17 pre-created head archetypes. We threw all those in the trash and started from scratch. We have 49 now.
Oh, wow.
So all of our head types are based on real life head types for different ethnicities. So we have Caucasian male, we have African American, we have Asian territory head archetypes, and we also have Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, those places too. So now you're going to see so much more granularity in the faces and the head that you can create. And what's also awesome is because we're going from 17 to 49, if you randomize it, you're going to see so much more depth in here. And the end goal is these guys, you really shouldn't be able to tell the difference or be able to pick them out so easily as a guy who's real, as a guy who's fake and created. Right. And that's what we're hoping to do here. Hairstyles, started over from scratch. Every single hairstyle in the game is new. And we went with more popular hairstyles that you'll see.
That's you right there.
Yeah, that's me. And we also have some old school. So you got the balding coming back. We also went with some old school hairstyles too. Ooh, look at that.
Man.
The mullet. We know that's probably going to be one of the most popular ones is the mullet. But we also have
What's up, Mitch Wild Thing Williams?
Yep, there you go. We got the Wild Thing in there. And that was the first one we revealed in the PSX trailer. But this is my favorite. That Oscar Gamble afro. That's my
impressive.
favorite hairstyle. Also got some old school styles and the curly mohawk, which you'll see on a lot of guys. So what we've also done is not just head hair, but facial hair. We've added about 22 new sets to facial hair. And what we wanted to do was give you obviously more options and bring in more of the unique styles that you see players wearing in real life MLB.
Beards are big in MLB these days.
Beards are big, and those old school styles too. So you'll see a few old school styles. You'll see styles modeled after real MLB players. There you go. Like, who doesn't want that? Bam. That old school.
Raleigh fingers.
Raleigh fingers. This style is based off like Felix Hernandez. So we're just giving you so many more options to create the guy that you want to create. And you can mix and match.
You're going to give the pros some ideas here with this. Yeah, I mean, I think, Ramone, it's important to explain to people. I try to do this every year because I always say this, and I always think it's important to say, sports game developers, I think you guys have some of the hardest jobs in all of game development because the reality is, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have, your game comes out every year. Like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
But you guys actually really only have about 9 months of development because that other 3 is for what? You got, there's pre-production, but then there's certification, testing.
Got to get through QA.
All that stuff at the end, right? So, you're doing as much as you can in 9 months. That's why, you're talking earlier in this video about you got a multi-year graphics plan. It's because you have to prioritize. You just can't do everything in one year.
You can't just wing it.
You don't have a 2-year dev cycle. You don't have a 3-year dev cycle. So, I think that's important for people. People complain, and at the end of the day, it is fair to criticize where it's necessary when, hey, somebody's paying $60 for your game. You don't want it to be the same thing every year. But it's also good to see it from the developer's perspective as well, which is, hey, you guys are doing everything you can in that very tight 9-month window.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you have to have a multi-year plan, and every single year when we start pre-production, we're always trying to figure, okay, we got to make sure we do enough to the core modes, add some new stuff, fix some stuff that maybe didn't work, and keep the game exciting and fresh, that people will continue to want to play it. So Creative Player, we just showed it to you. We're super, super excited about what people are going to be able to do. People have been asking for more body type granularity, and there you have it. And the end result is, I just randomized this guy, and I think he looks pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I probably speak for a lot of players of MLB The Show. I always like to make myself, and so I'm curious to see how close I can get this year.
We're really curious to see the type of creations people are going to come up with.
I know what I look like in a uniform, so I want to see how close the game can get me. All right, what else is new this year,
We're
Ramone?
going to go into gameplay.
Now we're talking.
We're going to go to Arizona.
All right, well, you got that's right. You play to your audience well. I'm a cursed to be a Diamondbacks fan. Cursed to be an Arizona sports fan.
Another thing is uniforms.
Yes.
We've added more uniforms in the game that teams are wearing. Some teams will have like 11 slots.
Well, the Diamondbacks probably too damn many.
11. They have a lot of uniforms. So we're trying to make sure we can get all of the current uniforms in.
They made them less ugly this year. They finished the piping on the pants, and they got rid of that bloody sock look down there, which is good.